So I have always loved playing with these things. My dad had a Newton's cradle, and yeah, that is what these are called, a Newton's cradle. I bet you didn't know that. In fact, neither did I, so I had to look it up. Anyway, like I was saying, my dad had one of these on his desk when I was young, and I could remember that I could kill 20 minutes easily simply by catching and releasing, catching and releasing, catching and releasing, watching how the momentum of one ball transferred its energy across all the other balls, causing movement to occur. In physics, momentum is how we measure mass that is in motion. And this fall, we're going to apply this term to what is happening here at Bethlehem. As a congregation, we have momentum. We are in motion. We're moving. But here's the central, most important question to ask. What is moving us? And where is it moving us to? Do we do the ministry that we do for the sake of being busy? Are we in motion for the sole purpose of increasing our congregation size? Is it all about the money? About possessing a greater market share of all religious organizations in our area? Well, I can tell you absolutely no, that is not what moves us, and those things must not be what moves us if there's going to be life in our congregation, and if there's going to be a sense of mission and wholeness experienced in this place. What moves us is the God who is. It is God's activity in the world. It is God's story, the biblical story that crashes into us, which causes us to move. Bethlehem is not the principal character of its own story. God is the main character, and it is God's story that moves our congregation. Let me ask you this. Do you know our story? Do you know this story? Do you really deeply know this story? This year, we will be focusing on learning our story as if for the first time by focusing on themes like belonging, gratitude, brokenness, life transitions, and many others that meet you right where you are. And these themes won't just be in our worship services. Our faith formation ministries for all ages, elementary, middle school, high school students, as well as adult Bible studies, we will all be focusing on the same themes. In this way, our entire congregation, from the youngest of us to the oldest, will be encountering the living God that is at the center of our story and our life together. Encountering God's story has momentum. It moves us in the direction of community. Relationships matter. The care, compassion, love, and support of a community is one of the best things you can experience. In a country that is divided and a culture that is all about consumption and possessing things, what is needed now more than ever is something countercultural. What we need is a community that offers a place to be yourself, to be accepted, to be a place where support, grace, and forgiveness is given and received. But building this kind of community, it must be intentional. It does not just happen by accident. This program year, you are invited to join one another in different community building opportunities throughout the year. To kick off this year, mark your calendars for Sunday, September 11th for a congregational lunch following worship. Grab some food, meet someone new, and enjoy the community of those in your Bethlehem community. But it doesn't stop there. The momentum of God's story keeps pushing us, keeps moving us beyond community that cares for itself to a community that cares for others. We are moved by God's story to serve our neighbors and the world that God loves. It can be hard to do that all on your own. So this year, there will be opportunities for us as a congregation to practice serving our community together. For example, mark your calendars for Tuesday, September 20th, as we partner with Miracle League of Central Minnesota. Join us in cheering on baseball players of all ages and abilities as they take the field designed for accessibility. This is the first of what will be several opportunities to serve together with community partners. The momentum of God's story sets us in motion to build community and to serve our neighbors. Story, community, service. That will be our focus for this coming program year, and I am excited to join all of you in this way of life together. Finally, I want to remind you that it is because of your generosity that Bethlehem has been able to keep following the momentum of God's mission for our community. In the coming weeks and before the fall chill hits our air, we will have replaced both of the building's 25-year-old boilers. This is a major project made possible by your generosity to the Repair and Replacement Fund that keeps our infrastructure up to date so that we're able to continue to carry out our mission. As of the end of July, our financial gifts are behind our ministry budget by about $28,000, but I can also report that our expenses are less than what we budgeted. So at the end of July, we are essentially breaking even when comparing the cost of our ministry to the gifts that have been given. Now, as we move into the fall, may you find that God's story moves you to the life that comes from an intentional community that seeks to serve. Get ready to experience momentum.